Hello everybody, it's Kuba here from Bohemian Adventure, and today I'm in a phangan Island in south of Thailand. It's actually here where all the idea of travel coaching started back in October, November last year when I came here for 1 month. Actually, I didn't know anything about the island, right? And I was just traveling in Malaysia in that time, and I met a few people on the road, and a lot of them mentioned, hey, you should go to Kopangan Island, in Thailand, you will really enjoy it, da, da, da. So I was like, yeah, let's give it a chance, after hearing this for a few times. So I thought myself, yeah, why not? And yeah, so I ended up here in October, and I stayed for 1 month, and it was great. I had a great time. I made a lot of new friends. I met some friends like what I know from before, from years of traveling as well, some old friends. And I had a great small bungalow on the beach, which in that time cost me about $250, I think, for a month. It's amazing. And yeah, so I was like, great, I'll go back and yeah, and spend some time here again. But this time was a bit different, to be honest, because this time is the high season here in south of Thailand, and everything is packed with the people, and the prices are just like doubled from what it was in October, November. So yeah, so I arrived here like a week, maybe a couple of weeks ago, yeah, something like this, and with one friend of mine who drive from Bangkok, and he was like, come with me, and I was like, okay, I will go. And it was kind of everything in rush, so I didn't do much research, let's say. I didn't book any accommodation. I didn't really worry too much about it, because I was thinking, well, I will just arrive and I will just figure it out the same like last time, and but it was way more difficult this time. I was very lucky because I could stay with my friend for the first few days, and then I started to look for accommodation. I took a scooter, drive around the island, and asking people, asking the locals, and everything is like full. I was on the internet, searching for ads for accommodation, and everything was full as well, or like there was nothing coming up. So it was a bit struggle, it felt a bit miserable. In the end, I found the accommodation. It's not perfect, but it's it's a bit close to the main road, so it's a bit noisy, maybe you can hear, but at least I got something where I can stay, and be comfortable. And at the same time, I got a little bit sick, and just like some flu with cough, maybe you can still hear a bit. So these are kind of the situation what happens, and if you like long-term travel, this kind of situation happens, and it's depends on up to you how much stress you want to handle and how much stress can you handle. And maybe someone prefers to have the accommodation books for next couple of weeks every time they move. Someone is good if they have accommodation for next few days, and someone like myself, I usually go just as with the flow, let's say, and just like always try to figure it out from kind of day to day. But yeah, sometimes it can put you in the situation like this, and then obviously it becomes a little bit more stressful, and then it's so-called survival mode kicks in. What's the survival mode? It's the situation where you kind of fighting for your basic needs. So you need to find accommodation, you need basically a place to sleep, you need to get fed, you need some food which is not that difficult here, luckily. In Thailand the food is delicious, and in the north of Thailand way more cheap than here, but still pretty reasonable. And so it's some shelter, some food, some rest, and feel physically good. Obviously, I was in the situation when I didn't have the shelter, and then I started to feel not that great physically, basically because I got sick a little bit, and it all put me to the survival mode, where you just feel a bit miserable, and when basically there is not much mental space to create. I was, in my mind I was like, okay, I will go to phangan, I will make the videos, and I will, work on a Bohemian Adventure project, but it was just not happening. It's happening now, because now finally I got a good place to be, and I feel a bit more comfortable, so now I can kind of relax, and this survival mood goes down, and and then you have actually time to be creative, or to do stuff what requires some higher level of, let's say, concentration and stuff. I'm sure you all know it. Know it from your everyday lives, when it's just up and down. There are situations when there are times when you feel better, when you feel everything flows and nothing is kind of worries, and there are times, or there are situations when everything is kind of, not so smooth, yeah. And if you long-term travel, this sort of situation will be happening, because long-term travel, it's not a holidays. It's not like you go to resort and you stay there for a couple of weeks and everything is organized for you, and then you go home, which is a great way how to relax. But in the long term, it's not sustainable, because it's expensive. That's the most important thing, right? So now I'm staying in a very basic accommodation, but it's cheap, so it gives me time to stay here longer. I don't have to worry so much about the money, obviously. We are always worried a bit about money, like everyone is, but it's I don't need a big resort. I prefer a small accommodation and cheap to stay here longer. But obviously it can put me in this situation when I need to find that accommodation, and it might be stressful for a few days. So even in long-term travel, you will be dealing with this situation. You need to be ready for it. You need to be prepared. And as I said, everyone can handle different stress, different level of stress. Someone is good with higher level of stress, someone doesn't want to be so stressed, so maybe they just get a little bit more organized. And in this time is very good, especially if you new to this, to have someone to check in with, to have someone who's got a bit more experience and who can kind of guide you through this situation. And I can see it now when I work with my coach from Canada, my business coach, and I can see it like this last couple of weeks were a bit difficult for me to make the content, to focus on the project, and it was just very helpful to have someone I could check in with. And she was telling me, yeah, this is normal, like you will hear the voices in your head, like this is useless, I shouldn't be doing it, and you might feel the same if you go to travel. If you go for a solo long-term travel, you might be in the situation when you hear your voice in your head saying, hey, this is not for you, it's just too difficult, you will never manage whatever you want to manage or achieve. And you just need to recognize this voice and understand, okay, it's here, it will be there, but it comes and goes. It's not actually, it doesn't give us the direction, doesn't lead our life. It's just there. We listen to it and we said, okay, thank you for your opinion, that's it. So yeah, so once we get over this stressful situation, once we find the accommodation, once we feel comfortable, then the things open up again. We feel that, okay, we can go out to meet people, to have fun, to work on our projects, whatever it is. And in these situations, it's really good to have someone you can check in with and who's got maybe tiny bit more experience in this than you know, or maybe different experience as well, so can give you different point of view. For me, it's my coach from Canada, and who helps me, you know, with this, let's say, business related issues, what I'm going through, you know. And if you feel like you would like to go to travel and experience something new and do you know, do new stuff, and you're just not really sure how to begin, where to begin, or what to do, feel free to message me, you know, and we can have a look at it. You can book a free discovery call with me, and you know, based on where you are at your personal journey, where you are at your, like, you know, work life, personal life, we will just have a look at it, and I'm sure we will find some way forward, and you know, and discover some maybe of these blocks, what's holding you back in the road to the life what you want to live, right? So that was the big update on what was happening last couple of weeks, that traveling is not just you know, the rainbows and butterflies and beautiful pictures from the beach. It's part of it, obviously, as well. The beach is just there, you know, a few minutes from here. But yeah, sometimes it just takes a bit more effort, and it's just sometimes it's just not so smooth to kind of land and to kind of get to the place where you want to be. But in the end, it's all the lessons. So now I know that I will to be a bit more careful with this, like seasons in highly touristic places, because let's be honest, these islands, it's pretty touristic, which the downside of it, it's way more pricey, and the positive side of it, it's you meet a lot of travelers, you meet a lot of digital nomads, you meet a lot of expats, and there is a lot of activities going on, you know. So from like great parties to, you know, live music to so many like different workshops, you know, like you got a bioconstruction workshops, you got a yoga workshops, you got a, you know, this I don't know, different massages and stuff like this. So whatever activity you would like to do, there is the chance to find it. So yeah, that's the update on last couple of weeks and what's been happening. I will still be staying in Thailand for next probably few weeks before my visa expires, and yeah, then let's see how the way unfolds. And as I said, like, if you're in the position where you want to change something, when you want to maybe start to travel, or when you know, not very sure how to relocate to a different country, or how, you know, where all this journey begins, just send me a message and we can have a discovery call, and we can, you know, we can check in and see what we can do together and work on it together. Okay, that's it, guys, for today, and I will be in touch in next couple of weeks. Meanwhile, you can enjoy some posts and some, you know, some updates from my everyday activities here on the island, Phangan Island. And love you all. Have a beautiful day, and yeah, talk to you soon.